it's been a lot of confusion with how to file claims, and I've been listening to Karl for a while and trying to find out how do I file a claim or where do I go. A guy earlier that was a call before the one that we were just on was asking where do we file claims. Well, here in Florida, I was looking under I know you're not supposed to look at statutes or anything, but under the Florida statutes, 728, you have the government waives sovereign immunity for tort claims against them. And it's the department, you have to file that, you have to do your administrative remedies, exhaust your administrative remedies before you file a lawsuit. So the correct department is the Department of Financial Services. That's why I filed my tort claim against the state with. I just filed it last week, and they gave me a claim number, and I'm giving them 6 months before I file my tort claim against them in federal district court. It's for the damages of doing torturous acts of putting medicine in my food, trying to basically get rid of me because I've done the whole sovereign thing, arguing with the courts and everything. So they sent me to a Florida State hospital, was putting medicine in my food, was taking my blood without a court order, against my will, administrating my property without any rights, filing false claims, all that. So I put that all into a $500 million claim against the state of Florida, and I filed the claim in the Florida Department of Financial Services. Is that the first place we go? Because I'm thinking you have to file it with the appropriate agency, and then if they don't settle with you, right now during the investigation part, if they don't settle with you, then you go to the court of record in the district court?
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing. So basically, you have to think about it sensibly. So, say for instance, me and you had a misunderstanding. Yeah. So the first thing is it's within reason that the man or woman that harmed you or caused you a problem, that you actually either forewarn them to say not to do that again, or you say, you know what you did was out and out wrong, and we need to settle this privately, or we're going to end up in a court. So yeah, but that's pretty much the logic that if me and you had that problem, we try and negotiate it. We don't negotiate it. I think we've mentioned quite a few times before. Say for instance, you're riding a bicycle and you bang into somebody's car and you scratch it down, a lovely brand new car, and the guy goes crazy, and you say, look man, I'm really, really sorry. You know what? There's nothing in the world that I would never have done that. And you know what? I just apologize. And the only money I've got on me right now is, I don't know, a few dollars, $5, and I'm not the richest guy in the world, and I know this ain't going to cover anything, but please can you accept this £5? And ideally what you want to do is give them something, but then that's your you've covered yourself in the common law, so you've settled privately with a controversy so that it's not going to really end up in a court. So if it did end up in a court and it was mentioned, hang on, he said he paid you $5, is that true? Yes. So you settled it privately. What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't think it's safe.
Yeah, it makes sense what you're doing. Although I've not really quite heard of it in that way. But like I say, I always go from man anyway. So either way, if some guy worked in, I don't care which department he worked in, the first thing I would be doing is writing directly to him or her, that man or woman, and then put it to them in writing, and mark the envelope private or strictly for the addressee only. Right. Sorry, not to the addressee. Sorry, strictly private, so that nobody else in the office has a right to open that letter. It's private. I'm trying to negotiate something privately with another man who I believe has done wrong, and then you write directly to them. And then after that, my next move is I'll make a claim against them then after that.
Okay, so that's how you make a claim against an individual. Let's say how, like, you have, in my instance...
Yeah, because you can't really make a claim against, say, a parking services department. That's just a nonsense. There is no guy actually called Mr. Parking Services Department. There's nobody there. You're talking to a ghost, so you're filing a case against a ghost. That doesn't make no sense.
me filing the claim against the Florida State Hospital with the department and agency, with the Florida agency of.
No, so say for instance, one guy took your blood,
Right.
unnecessarily, against your will.
Right.
That's one event. Another guy came along and gave you a flu shot without your consent. Well, that's another event. Yeah?
What about the judge sending me
Each one is a separate individual that done something. Yeah? You could say, but whether you have I don't know. I mean, the conspiracy theorists will say, well, there was a manager above him and he didn't like you and he sent all his little minions in to mess you around. But, unless you've got some proof of that, that's just speculation, conjecture. It's just conspiracy theory. So all you can do is just go for the man or woman who you saw doing the crime, as you see it.
It's multiple. I even caught the nurse putting the medicine in my food. Well, not literally putting it in my food, but he was exactly in my food.
But remember,
area.
you've got to see, like, if that's a normal thing for them to do,
right?
They're just going to say, well, you're just an awkward customer.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's the best thing to do is you just put like in writing to them and say like, I'm going to fair warn you now, right? You think I'm just sort of crazy guy sitting in this hospital? I'm putting it in writing to you now. This is to your name. It's not to Mr. Health Department such and such. This is for you. This is your name. Don't do that again. I saw you put that stuff in my food. I don't want you to do that again.
So how do you invoke a common law court of record? You just write it in the pleadings and then send it to the district court if they don't settle with me or they deny my claim?
You mean if they don't settle with you?
Right. If they don't settle with me, I have leave to sue them. But I wanted to be in a court of record.
Get your paperwork correct and put your file. You file your paperwork. I think Carl says a district court. I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, because I'm from the UK, I know what our one is a county court. In a Queen's Bench court. So that's where we'd go. But you don't have. It might be, but I keep forgetting about America. Sorry, and keep forgetting what your processes are. But like I say, Gus or Carl will probably know the quick answer for that.
Okay.
Hey, Bali, it's John. I think I could help
Hey, John.
with that. How you doing?
Hey, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I could help with that because I've gone both routes. I filed a claim in federal district court, and I have filed a claim in the county court. And it's an easy suggestion for me to give you. It's a no-brainer that you should go into the county court, because the federal district court, not that there's any courts out there that are not corrupt, but they're so far, that you got to really know what you're doing if you're going to file a claim in a federal district court. They're going to really test you, and you're going to. I spent a good 40 minutes debating with almost the entire staff of the clerk's office in federal court Friday. So county court, I'm not saying, you might have a different, you're going to have a different county court experience than I did. But, I got mine filed. Once I talked to the head clerk, it was just a matter of minutes. So I would definitely go county court. That would be my suggestion.
What if it's over, like, $5,000? Because mine is like $500 million.
Doesn't matter. Common law doesn't matter. As long as it's over, this is my opinion. If it's over $20 under the Seventh Amendment, or otherwise known as Article 7 of the Bill of Rights, the controversy is over $20, you qualify for a common law suit. So just Google Article 7 Bill of Rights or Seventh Amendment in the Constitution.
I already have a claim in with the Department of Financial Services. Those are the ones, they're the head of what's going on here in Florida. That's what they say that we have to file a claim with. Do I still have to go to small claims court? I already filed a claim.
Boy, there's so many answers to give you. Just, kind of doing a rapid fire thing here. So you say you already filed a claim?
Yeah, I filed a claim with not the court, but the the agency that it handles tort claims against the government, where they waive sovereign immunity. But under statutes, they only allow you to recover so much. But I'm a man, so I can recover. I mean, my life is worth more than $300,000. Them putting stuff in my food to try to cause me to have heart attacks, I feel like it's worth $500 million or more. But that's just my opinion. Well,
let me give you. This sounds a little bit blunt, but I'm saying it to you to help you. Okay.
Right.
My suggestion to you is don't file a claim anywhere right now. What I would do if I were you, it sounds like you have a really good claim.
Mm-hmm.
I would go on a steep learning curve first. Because, see, you only have to be missing one part of the process. And I can almost guarantee you're missing more than that. And your whole claim's going to go out the window. Let me give you an example. So you already filed a claim. Did you use their form to file it?
No, I did what you call a pleas of the crown and just wrote what happened. For the kings, the plaintiffs, I let them know my status as a man. I'm one of the people. And I just wrote how much I wrote basically what happened at the hospital, because I put everything on record. Every time they put something in my food, I called the healthcare administration. They made a record of it. I put all that and I sent all that to the agency of healthcare administration. I'm sorry, the Department of Financial Services, the ones that are in charge of filing claims against the state of Florida. In Florida, I sent it to them, and they gave me a claim number. And they said it takes up to 6 months. So I guess if they either grant it or deny it, that's when I go to federal court or go to the circuit court here within the state.
Okay, so you're pursuing an administrative claim.
Yeah, I'm pursuing my administrative remedy, because they're the administrator.
Good. That's good. That's a good thing. That's actually a common law remedy. You try to settle out of court. You're trying to settle privately.
Oh yeah, so based on letting them know. Okay.
Probably said it's correct. You know, you're going to eventually have to put your claim against a man or a woman.
Yeah, I listed them for conspiracy. Judges and people that work at the hospital, I listed their names individually as well. I shouldn't have did defendants. I should have did wrongdoers, but that's before I knew what I was listening to Carl. But
okay, so just like fast forward a little bit, definitely pursue your administrative remedy. Just be careful that they don't start talking to you like you're a person. You know, if they just correct them. You know, when they start talking to you like you're a person or you're a citizen or all these other, Mr. Smith, all these little tricks they use to get you to confirm the presumption that you're a person. And they're real good at it, by the way. So as long as you get that and you're pursuing that administrative remedy, you're going to be fine. But if I was you, I would take your time. The beautiful thing about common law is there's no statute of limitations. You can take your time. So if you really want to pursue this, go back to square one, you know, Carl's very first audio, and go forward. And
one more question. What if they try to, because I heard from Carl that if they offer me something less than what I'm asking for, then my whole claim could get dismissed. So if I got to stick to my guns, my life is worth, I don't know what your life was, but I feel like my life was in danger. They give you a history of heart attacks, and then they give you the final dose, and you end up dying. That's what they try to do there, because I was at war with them before I knew everything, and being at peace, being a peaceful man. So they try to get rid of me. But now
what they're going to do, my prediction is what they're going to do, without telling you, is they're going to look for how they gained joinder with you. In other words, they're going to look for how they got your permission to do what they did to you. And I can almost guarantee you they did get your permission, whether you realized it or not. You know, did they do it in an honorable way? Absolutely not. They never do.
Right.
But, you know, they have a different standard than you and I do. And it's much, much lower, you know, on the morality scale.
Right.
So all they could treat it, just you walking in the building granted them jurisdiction. Or they called you, you know, I don't know your name, but they called you Mr. Smith, and you answered to that. Okay, well, there's no such thing as Mr. Smith. It's a fiction, but you answered to it. They'll take the least little bit of dental floss, so to speak, and use that to create joinder on you and say, okay, he consented. They're not going to tell you that, but that's how they're going to look at it. So one of the things you need to get right out in front in your paperwork, and if you haven't done it already, you just amend your paperwork, is that you've never consented.
Never, yeah. It was all done blindly.
Really, the point I'm trying to emphasize too, and I really want you to hear me because I'm going through it now, is that you, before you do your claim in court, make sure you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I mean, really get it down. Don't go in there half-cocked because they're going to slam you.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
I'll keep y'all updated.
Cool. Brilliant. Thanks for that, John.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.
Man, I keep forgetting about the way you guys do, and I keep forgetting about your federal courts and your district courts, and too many damn courts. I keep forgetting. By the time I remember it, a few weeks later, I forget again. Nobody asked me for ages.
It shouldn't make any difference. You know, we're a common law nation, as you know, and they're all common law courts. But there's the sophistication level in the federal courts for lack of a better way of saying it, they've got corruption systemized is so much higher level in my experience, and I've been doing this now for a while, and it's been I'm telling you, it's been a dogfight, just an unbelievable dogfight. So he's got a much better chance of going into a local county court and getting a claim number and at least getting his documents filed. See, if he goes to federal court, they're gonna shut him down right away. So if he gets his documents, at least if he gets them in the file, then he's at least got a place that he can file his documents. He can always transfer them later. But starting off in federal district court, that's just I think that's going to be way too difficult for most people.